How is everybody doing? This is Lucifer here, business and spiritual consultant as always. Give me a second. Okay. Should really get that out the way here. Give me a second. Alrighty then. This is Lucifer here, business and spiritual consultant as always. And if you're wondering what is Lucifer doing on earth, let me tell you. He's talking about everything the earth is made of, which is what? Business and spirituality. Yes, sir. So, let's talk about, somebody asked me about Sakla. Uh, which Yalzebuf, Sakla, Yalzebuf, or Sakla, whatever. Yeah, he goes by many names. Some of them are more just than others. What do I think about him being the Demiurge? It's a funny question because I've been saying this for a long time. I've been saying this for a minute now. I'm starting to realize, I'm starting to wake up. And I did wake up. I'm starting to wake up to the fact that I was misled. I was misled. I was taken advantage of and misled. And that's what they do on a consistent basis. A lot of people are wondering, well, why do you follow these gods that you follow? Because they're teachers. You know, where else am I supposed to, what else am I supposed to do? I got to listen to the teachers. They're my family. They're my teachers and family and friends. They're not just gods that look down upon us whenever they feel like it. No. They're your family. That's where you come from. That's why in the Bible it says that your family that you live with right now is not your actual family, and your only real family is the Sakla or the God or whatever they call it. Right? So if Sakla was lying about him being the father and the mother of all children, then that means the gods were actually your fathers and mothers. I mean, it doesn't wholeheartedly mean that, but just by using common sense, if you already knew, if you read the Bible and you understand that everything in the Bible was just simple manipulation of words and ideas, then you also understand that there's a truth to it. But the question is, who does the truth belongs to? Well, it's quite simple. Just as he wants to be the only one, in actuality, he is the only one. He's the only one that is not our father and mother. He is the only one that is not all powerful. He is the only one that is not truthful and loving. So, what does that mean about the other gods? If they were lying, if the Bible was lying about all the other gods, then what are the other gods? And this is the reason why I keep telling people to not just listen to YouTube videos, but also practice. Because without practice, you will never know the truth. I'm not here to tell you the truth. I'm here to tell you, to give you knowledge, and then you have to figure out the truth, because the ultimate truth is only knowable by the oneself. That means you have to experience it in order to know if it's the truth or not. There's some people that don't believe in thought forms and gods and stuff like that because they believe it's just metaphors or proverbs or things of that matter. But in actuality, that's not the case. The case is they're a very real entity that they have enough power to act upon this world. But if you never ask them for anything, don't be surprised that they never do anything for you. If you shun them, if you rebuke them, if you keep them at arm's length, of course, they don't have that big of an impact in your life. But let's look at a perfect example. Look at me, for instance. One day, I made a video. I said hello to Hungir and Munir. If you don't know who Hungir and Munir is, those are the two crows that are always with Odin. Those are the two crows that are always with Odin. One is memory, and the other one is Thoth. Munir is memory, Hungir is Thoth. My favorite is Munir. Everybody's favorite is Munir. Because there's a lot of power in memory. And there's a lot of power in Thoth. Those two crows are very important to your witchcraft process or your elevation as a spiritual entity. If you do not see Hungir, if you do not see Munir, most of the time you only see Munir. And the only way to know that Hungir is there is when Munir is there. Because then you see both of them. When you see one bird, most of the time it's Munir. More than most of the time. As a matter of fact, I would say 100% of the time it's Munir. Hungir only appears when Munir is around. Is there a difference? No. Is there a purpose to him appearing and not appearing? No, not really. It doesn't really mean anything. It doesn't mean you did something wrong. It doesn't mean that you didn't do something right. It doesn't mean anything. It's just an ethereal happening. It's just the gods or the planet showing you that they are aware of your presence. And your presence is accepted. I told you guys I have to be more regal. Eventually. I can't stop playing. I can't stop playing. I can't keep playing. I have to be more regal. Because I have a lot of important people that are listening to me. They might not be I might not have a big channel, but these people are very important. And they listen to me. Because I have a little small fraction of truth within me. So I got Temple of Blood people listening to me. Like my words are from here to the Temple of Blood to my words hasn't reached the Church of Satan yet, but I'm guessing eventually it will. I mean, they don't really. I know the Church of Satan doesn't really have a YouTube channel. But maybe it will. Maybe eventually it will. So I'm grateful for people like B.D. Shepherd. I'm grateful for my friend B.D. Shepherd. I'm grateful for the Temple of Blood. I'm grateful for the attention that the Temple of Blood has brought to me. I'm thankful for Jafar, by the way. I saw your video that you're gonna release about the Temple of Blood, by the way. So salute to you. How you doing? But I'm grateful for my friend BD Shepherd. I'm grateful for EA Coedding, even though we're not on speaking terms. I'm grateful for what he did, because without his platform, I don't think I would have had the courage to make my own videos on the same format that he does it. So I have a great thanks for all these people, all you spiritualists, all you magical practitioners, all you witchcraft practitioners that have the balls, the cojones, the testicular fortitude that have opened a YouTube channel and expressed themselves and accentuate themselves and plant their flag into the ground and say, nah, you move. It's a fucking Captain America quote. I'm sorry, my bad. I'm just trying to make it a little bit more light here, because this got very serious very fast. Because it is a serious matter. Because people are suffering from these lies, from these aberrations, these abominations, these abominable lies, and unhinged rule sets that just doesn't add up. So yeah, people are wondering why do you believe in these gods? Why do you do this? Why do you do that? Blah blah blah. You don't need to, because people think I don't need to. They think I'm powerful enough to not. They think I'm powerful enough not to have the need to. I don't need to. I want to, and I also need to. It's both. I need to and I want to, because they're my friends. I spend more time with the dead than I do with living people. My dad is dead. I spend time with him. I can speak to my dad whenever I feel like it, even though he's not around. So I spend more time with dead people than I do with, regular folks, everyday folks. So to me, somebody that thinks that way is very insulting to me. I'm easily insulted, especially nowadays, because nowadays people do not respect their ancestors. They don't respect their gods. They don't respect where they came from. They don't respect who brought them here. They don't respect how they were brought here. They don't respect a fucking thing. That's just how people are nowadays. So I'm walking around in the 21st century just being insulted all day. I'm walking around town, people, the disrespect. It's disrespectful. It's disrespectful because you're walking around town and all you hear is, I don't believe in him. I don't believe in that. I don't care about him. I don't care about that. I don't care this. I don't care that. I don't care. That's all I'm hearing. I'm not hearing people that are making an effort in order to achieve or ascend to their higher heights. People like BD Shepherd ascends to their higher heights. Sorry. I don't mean he's not ascending. I'm saying he's ascending. People like JD Temple ascending. Who else? I don't know. Those guys over there. Those guys over there doing the things with the cool kids. People like me, I'm ascending. But the other folks, the general population, which is not their fault. I'm not saying, I'm not angry at the general population because I feel insulted because they don't understand things that are not in front of their noses. That is not a good reason to be frustrated. It's annoying and it is frustrating, but you have to gain control over your emotions. You have to gain controls over your sentimentality. Sorry about that, BD man. Don't you don't you come at me saying, you know, anyways. It was a grammatical error. A structural error. Anyways, but y'all understand what I mean. I'm just talking shit. I'm just talking shit because this video is gonna be long as a mother effer. Speaking of which, give me a second. I'm gonna go get myself a cup of coffee and I'll be right back. So yeah, speaking of abominations and monstrous things, yes, we are monsters. We are abominations. We are monsters. We are, sorry, I got message on my cell phone. We are monsters. We are abominations. Of course. But they made us this way. It's not what we chose to become. They made us this way because there's no way that we were going to take shit laying down. So because we didn't take shit laying down, these entities, these creatures that you guys call God or Sakla or Yalzebub, whatever his name is. I don't like Yalzebub because it reminds me of Beelzebub, but I love Beelzebub. Beelzebub's awesome. Beelzebub is badass. Anyways, whatever. I don't want to insult him. And I'm working with him right now, so I really don't want to insult him. Anyway, so I'm going to say Sakla. They turned us into this. They made us into this. This facade that we wear as a mask was laid upon us at the beginning of existence. We had no choice in the matter. There was a small group of us when we started out waking up. That group became bigger and bigger as insurgencies were made towards heaven. Just like in real life, it's the same thing. And this is the reason why people believe that these things are more metaphoric than literal. Because metaphorically, that makes a lot of damn sense. Because if you look at the state of the world today, look at all the people that try to tell the truth. They get demonized, ostracized, demonized, and sometimes forced to subjugate to their whatever people, things, leader, master, whatever. I don't know what they call it. Pupil, brotherhood, whatever. So it's only right that we go out of our way to find a way to defend ourselves from these people, entities, and things of that matter. So of course, we're abominations. Of course, we're monsters. And of course, we are the ones that bump in the night. I'm talking about you witches too, by the way. Remember, I'm 3 times great. So when I speak from up there, I speak from down here, and I speak from down there. This is the power of your voice. This is the power of crystalline energy. This is the power of vibrational energy. This is the power of the echo. This is the power of the abyss. Oh, I know them Christians ain't gonna like this fucking video. I know they ain't gonna like this fucking video. Or maybe they will. Who am I to judge how a person thinks? It's not like I'm God. Anyway. Well, let's hope that these people... I don't hope. I don't need hope. Shit, I am hope. The S on my chest is the symbol of hope, freedom. So much power. Nah, this is Lucifer speaking. So much power, so much to grasp and understand, so much knowledge to be had. Like a feast, we eat, but people don't want to eat. They just look at the table with all the food on it, and they ain't eating shit. And then they wondering why they starving. Eat a goddamn apple. It's just a fucking apple. It's not gonna kill you. If it was gonna kill you, do you really think God would put the tree exactly where you can just eat it or be harmed from it? All of this was on purpose. All of this was on purpose. You are meant to exist. You are meant to exist. You were not born to die. You were born to live. This isn't hell. Trust me. I've seen hell, and it doesn't look a goddamn fucking thing like Earth. Well, I've seen parts of hell. I haven't seen hell, No. In paradise, you can do what you want. On Earth, you can do what you want. Don't get caught. But you can do what you want. You can kill. You can murder. You can rape. You can pillage. You can burn. You can pleasure. You can give pleasure. You can receive pleasure. You can eat succulent meats and succulent fruits. It's delicious. This isn't hell. People make it a hell. Sakla made it into a hell on purpose, because without his intervention, humanity would have no need for religion. Why? Because we are far beyond what scientists, no pun intended, no offense meant, but it's true. It has been said. We are far beyond just simple little monkeys or amoebas. We shall not return to dust. And that's a scary thought. Because that would mean there's an end. That would mean there's an end. We're going to finish. There's a finish line. There's no finish line here. You just keep on living forever. You are immortal. Your soul is immortal. Your spirit is immortal. Your spirit is not a mortal thing. It's an immortal thing. It cannot die. And how can you kill what is already dead? So, a wise man once said, if you die before the time that you die, then you will never die. I'm going to let that marinate. It's a complicated concept to understand. But I'm sure a couple of you do already understand that. So that's why. Because we're family. Because I am the Son. I am the Father and the Son and the Spirit. And quick reminder, please subscribe to my channel, leave a like, leave a comment, and all that. Quick reminder, when I speak like this, I speak about myself, but I'm also talking about you. But your ego will decide whose side you're on. Your ego is going to decide whether you are going to listen to these words and judge me, or you're going to listen to these words and absorb them to yourself and imprint them onto your own spirit. So you may receive the knowledge, so you may receive the downloads, and you may receive the freedom and the hope that you are listening and hoping for. The world is not in turmoil. Humans are in turmoil. We are creating obstacles for each other. It's not Sakla. I mean, yes it is, but not physically, not personally, you know. Everybody has a choice. Everybody has free will. Everyone has free will, right? So when an idea, an inspiration pops into your mind to block another human from doing what they need to do, it was all your choice. There's no one to blame but you. That's the secret of being God. Everything is your fault. I'm kidding. I'm playing. So what do I feel about him being a demiurge? I think it's preposterous. I think it's oblivious. I am in total shock of this terrible news. Because it is terrible news. It is terrible news. So am I a good person? Not necessarily. Am I a bad person? Man, hell nah. But that's our little secret. Don't tell nobody. This is a wonderful time. Today is Sunday. This is a black mass. If you hadn't noticed, this is a Sabbath. This is the true church. This is the true communion. And shit, I might do this every Sunday, as a matter of fact. So if y'all want to come to church, y'all are welcome. I don't care who you are. So yeah, it's disheartening news, because I believed for a long time. I believed for a long time, but for a long time, I was getting my shit kicked in. You know what I mean, bro? So, as any normal human would, after, 20 plus years of getting your shit kicked in, you're kind of like, you know what? Like, maybe there's some, I should do something different here, because this ain't working out. You could say, maybe you're just allergic. Maybe it's just you're a whole damn demon, and that shit is just not meant for you. And I would say you are probably fucking right. I don't fucking know. You're probably right. Yeah, I said it. You're probably fucking right. I don't know. Because it's kind of weird. Well, it's not really weird. I don't want to blow up somebody's shit. I don't feel like blowing up people right now. That's not what I feel like doing. I feel like giving my praises to Lucifer, giving my praises to Beelzebub, and giving my praises to Lilith, and all my patrons and all my gods, all my family that's up there. I don't feel like blowing up somebody's shit, but it's peculiar. It's a peculiar concept, even though it makes all the sense in the world. But what if you're right? What if it's just because my DNA is different from other people's DNA? Because that could be it too. That could be the problem. It could just be a DNA thing. My DNA is more aligned towards darkness, so I'm completely and utterly just can't stand it. I just can't be around that sort of stuff. Maybe that's what the problem is. Or maybe Sakla is a demiurge. Sakla is here to enslave humanity. That's what I think. And coming from a street nigga, there's a lot of slavery going on in the streets. And I don't like it. I think it's disgusting. When I used to be in the streets, the only reason why I was in the streets is because of drugs. I love drugs. I like weed. I like popping pills, nigga. I like snorting cocaine. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. It's a joke. Well, kind of. But seriously, coming from a street person, there's a lot of slavery going on in the streets. And I don't think it's because, oh, it's just gang members just like to enslave people. I don't think it's that simple. Because the streets is a spiritual place too. The concrete jungle is full of spiritual animals like gorillas and cheetahs and stuff like that. Stuff of that matter. So I don't think it's just a case that, oh, they're just nasty people that like to do nasty things. I think it's a little bit more complicated than that. I think there's a reason why this person is as nasty as that person is. Maybe the person is not even nasty. Maybe he's being forced to force other people to do things. That could happen too. Especially in the streets. If that shit could happen anywhere, it's in the streets. But the thing is, where does that inspiration come from? Well, humanity always tried to enslave people, been enslaving people since Great Egypt. Nah, not really. Slaves in Egypt were employees. All that slave shit is propaganda. Well, I don't even know if it's propaganda because, you know, on TV they say it was slaves, but when you read books, they tell you they were paid, they had houses, they had wives. It was just they were forced to work for the pharaoh, I guess. Something I don't even call that forced. Like, how you call that forced? If you're getting paid, you got a wife, you got a house, you're not a slave. You're an employee. You work for Egypt. You work for the pharaoh. You know, you might not want to. Maybe that's where the whole slave shit came from. Like, people was just lazy, and they was kind of like, man, I don't want to work with no damn pharaoh. And then the pharaoh was like, well, shit, man, you gonna have to work, nigga, because we ain't about to die because you a lazy son of a bitch. No pun intended, no offense meant. I'm just speculating. So, it has to come from somewhere. The idea, the process, the plan, the knowledge in order to properly propagate this sort of nonsense has to come from somewhere. It's a plan. It's organized. It's not just a bunch of crazy people doing crazy shit. They know what they're doing. And they're getting orders. And the orders come from upstairs. And those orders that come from upstairs come from another upstairs. And those orders that come from the other upstairs comes from another upstairs. And so on and so on and so on and so on. Shit rolls downhill. In the wise words, and then they got people like us, in the wise words of Blade, Wesley Snipes, motherfuckers are always trying to skate uphill. So, you know, it's kind of hard to skate uphill when shit is rolling down, you know what I mean? Ah, some good coffee. Dang. Woo. Um. So he's a demiurge, hell bent on enslaving humanity, and he already did. We're already slave of Sakla, the demiurge. It's just some of us got the testicular fortitude to be like, you know what? I don't want to be your slave no more. That's the difference. That's the only difference between me and you is the testicular fortitude. That's it. And nothing else. Because we're both slaves. We're both stuck here. Well, stuck. I don't really call it stuck, but you know you know what I mean. And he already got us mentally in our minds, which is the worst place to be a slave. Because being a slave physically doesn't mean shit if you're still free in your mind. So that's why you got to break down the mind first. And then you can enslave a person. You can make a person do whatever you want. But you have to break down their mentality. And once that shit is broken, because when you break somebody, you also break their spirit. The person has no more spirit. The spirit is there, but it cannot communicate. It cannot act in your behalf. You know? So he already got us. Just the fact that people believe in Sakla and believe that Sakla is actually the actual one above all. That's a trap in itself. That's a mental trap in itself. He made you believe that if you do not believe in him, that you will end up in a bad situation. When in actuality, it's when you actually do believe in him that you end up in bad situations. So the problem here is re-education. We were brainwashed. Now we need to re-educate ourselves. And here we go again. You're still asking the question, yeah, but what does that have to do with demons? Why do you have to be with demons? What is that? I just told you. I already told you. But I'm still going to answer your question anyway. Because that's part of the re-education process. Like I told you before, your spirit is a cup. Is the cup from the tarot card. Okay? There's a reason why the emotional spectrum is a cup. Because your emotions are deeply rooted with your spirit self. You see, your emotion is what permits you to connect with the unphysical world, the non-physical world. Like when you try to manifest, if you're trying to manifest, you're trying to become a manifester, right? You got to use emotions in order to manifest, in order to create, right? But you have to control your emotions, though, because some people don't control their emotions. There's a lot of people that don't control their emotions. They run on their emotions, and that's what makes them lost. That's why they're a bit confused. I am really tired of looking at those water filters above my head. Give me a second here, man. Hold up. What is wrong with this thing? There you go. Okay. That's better. So like I said before, your spirit is a cup. And whatever you put, the spirit is not the ego. The spirit can change. You can change your spirit. You can make your spirit go from light to dark and all the colors in between. Your spirit follows whatever you tell it to do. So if you decide to become a slave, your spirit will also become a slave. That doesn't mean your spirit is defenseless. But after a short while, if you don't want to listen to nothing, if you don't care about nothing, then your spirit's a slave too. It's like, unfortunately, I'm a medium. So I'm not saying this to insult anybody. But as a medium, as somebody that speaks to the dead, some contracts that were signed in these last couple of decades by celebrities and artists and things of that manner, it's not for nothing that we call it signing your soul to the devil, because some of these artists, even after they're dead, they're still puppets. Even after they're dead. Not all of them can be freed. Some of them can, but you have to know how. I know Aaliyah's free. That happened recently. And anyways, but most of them are still slaves after they're dead, because they signed their spirits to the devil, to Sakla. And that's a very sad thing. And if you think these artists and celebrities don't know that, you got another thing coming. They're very aware. It's just that they don't want to be broke no more. And they don't want their family to suffer anymore. So they sign their name on the dotted line, even though they know that whatever's going on is forever. Forever. So if you think by dying you'll escape any of this, you got another thing coming. And if you think they don't know that already, you got another thing coming. They already know that. And it's not funny. It's sad. Because I like some of these guys. I don't want anything bad to happen to some of these people. So shit is very serious. Life is severe. But people don't really understand that. They understand it, but they don't know how far it goes. And it goes that far. It goes as far as, if you make a mistake while you are alive, you are still going to pay for that mistake when you are dead. Supposedly dead. When you are unalive. Let's put it that way. When you're unalive, you're still gonna pay for that shit. Whatever deal you made. Or whatever is inside of your cup. Because it's not, like I said, you can save some of them, but you gotta know how. And it's not that easy. But like I said, you can change whatever's inside of that cup, whatever's inside your spirit at any point in time. At any point in time, you can change whatever is in your cup. But emptying your cup doesn't mean shit. You see, when you are angry and you are rejecting reality, you are emptying the cup. But now your cup is empty. And you don't want to have an empty cup, because an empty cup means you feel lonely, you feel alone, you feel like there's nothing, you feel like you'll be depressed. You gotta put something there. Whatever that thing is. You don't have to follow my path. My path is for people that have a little bit of rage. Even though we don't act on our rage, it's still for people that have rage. Why? Because we deal with fire. We deal with we deal with gruesome shit. All right, let's just put it that way. Let's just be real. We deal in gruesome fucking shit. It's not harmful gruesome shit. You know, but it's still gruesome shit. We come from the darkness. We live in the darkness. We love the darkness, you know. But our ascended masters are not psychotic serial killers that just, you know, they can't, you know, they're not stupid. Like religion made us believe that they are. Part of my language. No, on the contrary. But the reason why I say this is for people that have a little bit of rage, a little bit of anger, is because at the end of the day, if you're a demonologist, it's because in the back of your mind, you kind of want to give a big old fuck you to Sakla, to God. Obviously. That's why I'm a demonologist. Like I don't know about you. You know, but that's why I'm a demonologist, because I want to give him a big old fuck you, dude. Like, because at the end of the day, I could fill my cup with anything else. You're right. I can fill my cup with anything else. I can fill my cup with cartoons. I could become a cartoon artist. I could become a full-blown 24 hours a day, 7 days a week tarot reader. I could choose anything, but I chose this. And like I keep saying, this is not new. This is not news. Like I said before, you don't have to do what I do, but you have to replace your cup with something else, because just being mad gives Sakla enough space to still be inside of your cup. So that's the reason why. Because I'm replacing what was in my cup with something else, so that he cannot spill into my cup again. Because for as long as your cup is empty, for some reason, this guy is obsessed with ruling over people, making them live in fear of him. He's jealous of your wife. He's jealous of your husband. How can you be a loving God and then tell me that you're jealous of my girlfriend or my children? That makes no goddamn sense. You gotta be out your goddamn mind. That's insane. That's the first major faux pas of this Sakla character, is to pronounce that he's a jealous God. That's insane. I mean, sure, everybody got a little bit of jealousy in them. You know, Lilith is a very jealous goddess. But in her case, it's excusable. And I understand what that means. She transcends jealousy. She's a woman. She transcends woman, feminine character or personas. That doesn't make her a bad person, though, because she's not a bad person. But she can be very rambunctious. No, like I'll give you that. Um, but I love my Lilith, my mother. I love my mother. I love my Lilith, and there's nothing that's gonna make me not love her because I knew Lilith way before I knew Lucifer. So I cannot. She was my doorway into all of this. But Lilith is honest about it, and she's very honest about it. like to the point where you will have arguments with her. You're not Lilith is not a goddess that you can't hold a conversation with. She she'll act like a fucking human. If you act like a human with her, she's gonna act like a human. So that means you can come to an understanding, or you there's like whatever, you know. Or you just don't worry about it. She's just my wife, but you're still my Lilith, you know. Things of that matter. It's good practice. Anyways, I'm gonna shut the fuck up because now I'm just telling secrets. So that's why I'm mad, bro. Like, that's why I'm mad, bro. He's trying to enslave everybody on the damn planet, and he already did. We're already slaves. People don't even notice. People don't even know. Like, there's some people you tell them, "Oh, we're all slaves." They're like, "You're right." And then there's other people you gonna tell them, "Man, we're all slaves." They're gonna be like, "What the you talking about, man?" People are clueless about a lot of this shit. Not anymore, but that's recently. But before the last 5-10 years, people were very clueless about all of this shit. Very clueless. So yeah, we did a lot of work for this Sakla person. And now it's time to destroy the work that we did for him. And we're doing a pretty good job. So far we're doing a pretty good job. I don't agree with everything that's going on in the world with certain agendas, but certain agendas serve me as well as it serves, so it is what it is. But it's not on purpose. That's the problem. If it was on purpose, if we purposefully did things to remove this energy around us. You see, most people think without God, there's just puddles. Puddles of water, not worth a goddamn dime. But in actuality, if you remove God from the equation, then you'll start to understand who the fuck you are. And you're supposed to be a bad motherfucking ass. Why? Because you can create shit. Why? Because you're a manifester. Why? Because you are a god. Why? Because you are part of the whole. You are from the abyss. You got power unimaginable. And you'll never know because you're afraid of yourself. You're not afraid that I'm wrong. You're not afraid that I'm saying bullshit. You ain't afraid of that shit. That's not what's scaring you. That's not what's scaring you. You're afraid to find out who you are. You're afraid to find out that all of this is true. That's what you're afraid of. You're not afraid of being wrong. You're not afraid of making the wrong choice. Nah, you're afraid of finding out that all this shit is true, that Sakla is a demiurge, that you have so much power and you never fucking noticed. Shit is sad. But it's alright. People are waking up. It's only a matter of time. We're gonna win. This time. We're gonna win. It's inevitable. Victory is assured. Because we know how to defeat God. And that's what we're doing right now. With that said, I'm going to leave you on this. Please subscribe to my channel. Subscribe to my channel. Leave a like. Leave a comment. And I'll see you on the next one. Have a good one. Peace out.